What's up? I just showered, and it makes me kind of look like I'm like emo from like the 2000s, I think. Like I'm using way too much like hair gel. But I think it looks kind of, well, in some places more than others. I think it actually looks quite cool. Anyway, I hung out with my friend. I slept over at their place, which was honestly kind of hard to do because they have their own apartment. Um, and they only have one bed. Hashtag fanfiction trope. They only have one bed, and it's like a twin size bed. Which, can anyone explain to me why? I could probably just Google it, but like, whose idea was it to call it a twin sized bed when literally one person can only comfortably fit on it? Fuck you mean twins. Anyway, so yeah, that kind of makes it a little bit hard. What makes it even harder to stay over at his place is that he's got this big dog that, up until very recently, wanted to kill me. Maybe I'll talk more about that later. He's very cute with me now, though. He's very sweet. He's got a great heart, and he's just a little confused, a bit traumatized. He's got the tendency to mistrust, but once you got him, he'll stay with you, and that's true. He's very loyal. He's very cute. So I didn't get much sleep last night since you have to imagine two people right next to each other on like a twin-size bed, plus a dog at the end of the bed, plus you're sleeping under like a super thin blanket, and it's a blanket that is also only made for one person. So, and also your friend just came from their 9-hour shift, their 9-hour night shift, and it's like 1 a.m. and you guys came home at like 11 together, and you don't want to wake him up because like you don't have a job, he's got a job, so like he needs to sleep that shit off, that long ass shift, and you didn't really do anything, so it'd be mean of you to wake him up by pulling the blanket away, so you're kind of cold most of the night. And then the dog sometimes kicks you because he's dreaming, and he's like on the, end of the bed, so his little pawsies, that are actually quite big. You have to imagine, my hand fits one paw of his. Like, if you imagine a dog paw right here, like, with its base on, like, with all of the paw pads on my, like, palm, it would kind of, the claws would come over at the sides. He's pretty big. When he stands up, he can look me in the eyes and lick inside of my mouth, and he loves to do that, and I hate it. It's very cute of a gesture, but... Anyway, so I kept waking up because either my blanket was getting, the blanket was getting pulled away, the dog was accidentally kicking me or whimpering in his sleep or growling in his sleep, and that makes me a little scared because it's a fairly recent development that, like, he's fine with me, especially, like, without the muzzle. And also, it's like 1 a.m., you're not really tired because, like I said, you don't have a job, so you're kind of just awake all the time at night when you're not supposed to. So yeah, that was my night, kind of. But I had a lot of fun. We watched movies together, we chilled during the daytime. He went shopping, and I'm not allowed in the store because I shoplifted. I'm only allowed back end of this year, so can't wait for that, because I'm banned, nationwide in every, like, in 2 chains that are owned by, like, the same, company. And I'm not telling you which, because that might narrow down where I live. But yeah, I'm banned, actually, in 2 grocery store chains nationwide, and then 1 specific one where I live. Also due to shoplifting. Oopsie. But that's getting caught twice out of like 100. Maybe I shouldn't talk about this, actually. Forget I said anything. I'm like a law-abiding citizen. Actually, I was just joking. I've never shoplifted. Everything is an accident that I do. But, like, back to the dog and sleeping there and stuff. But we had a lot of fun. We went shopping, he went shopping with my cash and then transferred it back to me, because he has no access to his his bank account, because an ATM swallowed his card like 3 weeks ago, and the bank still hasn't gotten back to him about it. So yeah. And what's also a fairly recent development for me and the dog is the fact that he, like, he can walk with me, because, you keep a dog on a leash, which, in most of Germany, you have to do. You're not allowed to have your dog off leash ever, else anybody can, sue you for it, basically, report you to the authorities, and then you can catch a fine, and at the worst, they can take your dog away. So we're not trying to have that happen. So whenever we go outside, he still has to wear the muzzle, because he's still in training. And, I keep him leashed. I always keep him very short, like very close to myself, because I'm very scared, since it can always happen that he has, for some reason, got that idea that he wants to jump at someone, or bikes are a big hate of his, which he's getting better about, though. So you never know if there's a child running around and suddenly he's like, that child is running, I must catch him. So yeah, and then we're sitting outside of the grocery store, and it's always a bit nerve-wracking, because my friend also has a phone that's mostly broken, so I can't call him in case of an emergency. And even though he's literally just on the other side of the wall, basically, getting groceries, the time feels literally never ending when you're out there with a dog that may lunge at people, and then the first thing that people are obviously going to do is try, blame you for it, even though it's not your dog and not your fault, because this dog, he's kind of just like that. He's being trained, though. He's doing really well in training. He's getting more comfortable around strangers, which is cool. Maybe I'll be able to show you some pictures if my friend allows it. He's some people think he's a Malinois. I'm really bouncing around on the topics today. Some people think he's a Malinois, but we're not sure about it, since he is officially a mutt, because he's apparently he was rescued from some dubious source that no one really knows about. And then my friend bought him off of the second guy that came to obtain him, who also who had him for 2 years or so, because he's almost 3, who didn't really make any effort to train him at all. Just kept him in the apartment all day, would only go out with him at night, so that there wasn't even the chance that there was another person there, which is a really bad thing to do, because if you are scared of your dog lunging at someone, your dog is going to be scared too, and they think that you're scared of people and they have to protect you. Whatever, man. Just you need to show your dog that these things are not scary, else they're gonna forever think that they're scary, and then you're gonna be scared forever, and it's a terrible, terrible cycle. Break the cycle. But yeah, he's doing pretty well. I'm pretty sure this dog has learned and trained more in the last 4-ish months. 4, I think, maybe even only 3 that he's been here. But he's made way better progress in those few months than he has across the last 3 years, which is pretty crazy, because he's really, really smart. He's really smart. He can learn tricks in a matter of hours, dude. It's crazy. He can do a lot. But yeah, back to the whole grocery store thing, and we're sitting out there, and every single time I make him lay down, right, keep him at a really short leash, and I just sit and try to look as chill as possible. But he obviously he doesn't really listen to me like he listens to my friend, because his friend is the leader dog, because he's there all the time, and I'm just a guest, a visitor. So he knows to listen to me when my friend is around, but when he's not around, he likes to kind of just do what he wants. And in those moments, you really have to it makes you look like a freaking dog abuser, because you're out there and your dog is doing something he's not supposed to, so you have to pull him back from a bush he's trying to pee at that he's not supposed to, and you have to really yell at him and stuff like that. And everybody around you is wow, this person is mistreating their dog. I'm scared of that, dude. I'm really scared. So far, no one has verbally cursed me out for pulling the dog or something. But I'm always scared that something's gonna happen, right? So we're just sitting out there, and it feels literally an hour. I'm so serious. Because he went in there to get toilet paper, and I'm how long it can take for you to get toilet paper? And in the whole time, people walk in and out of the store. The same person comes, and the same person leaves, even though we've gotten there earlier, and my friend is still not out there. But yeah. But so far, every single time that, I've been outside with the dog for whatever reason. Nothing has happened, nothing big at least. Like one time while we were trying to get the whole bank thing fixed, um, obviously my friend had to go into the bank, and we were like, oh, good time, we can just take the dog with us, and like me and him will wait outside, and then you can go in there, because he was like, oh, I just have to bring some papers there and I'll be right out. Famous words said by someone who will not be right out. It took him like, I think, almost half an hour to like go in there, like go to the front of the line, because there's a big line, a lot of people in that bank that day. And he's in there, and I'm like outside thinking like, okay, this is gonna take like max 10-15 minutes, and I'm already nervous. We're sitting out there at a fountain, kind of further away from everyone, because this is at a marketplace, a town square. There's people on bikes, there's other dogs, there's children running around, there's children on bikes. Crazy, like a bunch of things that this dog could potentially lunge at. And then he's been doing fine with all the smaller dogs that are walking around way further like away, with me just like holding him really close, like kind of yanking the leash for him to look at me and look away from the dogs and be like, hey, here, not over there, that dog over there doesn't matter, look at me. And that's, you can only do that so many times. And then some other person is in the market square and is training their dog. Shit like sit. So like, I'm like, is this a really new dog? And is this dog perhaps, because it's a large dog, and you know, two large dogs, when one of them is not a fan of other dogs, that could be a problem, especially if one of them is not trained at all, like it seems like that dog would be, because he's just like learning sit and lay. And then another one that is known to be reactive and sort of aggressive when he's scared, and he's scared around like every dog, even if they're like this tiny. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, please don't come over here, please don't come over here, please walk really far. And at the same time, I'm like, please, dog, don't look. That other dog, please don't look over here. My dog, please don't look over there. And then he spots him, and I'm like, fuck, shit. And then he gets up, and I'm like, no, don't you dare, please stay. And I'm trying to yell over to that person, and I'm like, hey, person with the dog, are you training your dog? Sorry, like, is he leashed? Like, is he gonna jump? And they're just looking at me like they've never heard another, like, a live human being talk to them about an animal. So I'm just like, damn. So I have to take this dog and, like, pull him with all my strength, both hands, the widest stance you can imagine. Just like, come over here, fucking don't look, like, I don't know any of the, like, English equivalents to the German commands, but it's like, bye, foos. Did you guys know I'm German, by the way? Have I talked about that before? I'm German. I live in Germany. I speak German. That's my first language. English is my second language. But yeah, so I'm just like, komm her, wer glaubst du eigentlich, wer du bist? Like, hier, Beifuß, ran, komm zur Seite, geh hier weg. It's like, and he's laser focused on this damn dog, and he's kind of like walking with me because he's got no other choice while I'm like pulling him across the pavement behind the fountain so that he can't look at the dog anymore. Because the dog trainer was like, yeah, if he's like focused on something he's not supposed to, you just have to like get in between him and the thing so he looks at you instead of the thing. And I was trying to do that, and it's so hard because this dog just fucking does what he wants, especially with me, because he knows that I'm not gonna, like, there's few repercussions with me there. And then finally the other people leave, and he calms down and lays down, and I'm literally shaking. My hands are shaking, my legs are shaking, I'm just sitting there like, please come out of the bank, please. And then, like, I think, honestly, 2 minutes after the whole debacle is over, and the people with the dog are still, like, you can see them still walking away. Then my friend comes out of the bank, and he's like, hey, sorry that took so long. There's, like, so many people there. And I'm like, you have no idea what just went down. I got so scared. But everything was fine. And now I'm able to, like, independently walk him by myself. Like, I have a key to my friend's apartment, so, sometimes after school, before he's out, or if he's got, like, a late shift and I'm out of school and he's already on his way to work, I drop by there and just kind of, like, sit in there, like, cuddle with the dog so that he gets a little bit of social interaction, before my friend comes back in the middle of the night. And then sometimes I, like, take him out to piss and shit, as one does with the dog. So far I've only done, like, pretty small rounds. Because I'm still scared that, like, I'm gonna come across something, and then especially if my friend is, like, in a different city at work, unreachable, and something happens, there's not much I can do. But yeah, so far it's been pretty good. He really likes me. I would love to show you videos of us cuddling together on the bed. But I need to obtain permission from that first. But he's a really sweetie. He's a real sweetie pie. Such a cute little guy. I'd love to show him to you. He's huge, but so is his heart. Anyway, that was my dog stories. Do you guys have dogs? You guys ever dealt with a reactive dog? Did you even listen to the end of this? I don't know, and I don't care. But yeah, tell me about your dogs. Tell me about your pets if you have any at all, because I don't. Sadly. Always wanted a cat. I'm a cat person. Fun fact, I love cats. Next to goats, which I have talked about before. Goats are my second favorite animal. And my fursona is a Jacob sheep.